Alright, so first time giving this a test, which is a little live stream on Twitch. I'm gonna be working on a couple of stuff. The main thing, first I'm going to work on redoing the body for my PCOO. This is the original one that I had, but this was with the body post for the Atomic, so it's slightly too backward, plus it's been damaged quite a lot, so I'm going to reuse all the hard plastic parts from it and I'm going to add them to the redone body. I've just painted that up quickly. I've had quite a little bit of spill all around. I still haven't removed the protective film, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to work on applying some of the stickers to try to cover some of my painting mistakes, and I'm going to reattach all the hard resin parts to the body, and then just gonna try to figure out exactly how the body is going to mount onto the chassis. I've already add body post at the back, but I need to figure out the height, and then I'm gonna have to figure out the floor lines over there. The front is still a little bit on the high side, so I might do some trimming in the front as well to lower the entire body. Might have to cut right around where the lenses are in the front, so I will do that later on, but first I'm going to probably just remove those resin parts. So this, of course, it's my 70s Proto line of body. This is the Tipo 33, and so it comes with the clear body on one side and then a couple of hard accessories. So there is a roll cage that goes behind the driver's head. There is all the tubular structure from the chassis at the back, with some exhaust pipe, back of a transmission and tail lights, as well as a hard wing over there. So it's a pretty cool set. It is, well, it's not scary to drive, it's really good looking when it's on the track and you don't want to crash it, but it's actually a pretty good body when it comes to downforce and so on. So originally I had painted the black from the top and then applied the stickers and painted it. This time around I've painted from underneath, so it's a little bit shinier, and I'm not going to apply the dashboard stickers to it. And I'm going to do a little bit of coloring before I get into applying the resin part, because I want the scoop at the back to be black, and that was a little bit of a pain to do with painting, so I'm going to do it with a black marker. This way it's going to be much easier. I think it would be actually a nice piece to open completely, to cut out, but just a little bit of paint over there, marker I mean. And then inside those scoops here, I guess I could do a little bit of black as well, but I'm going to leave it blank at the moment. The main thing that I need to do before I start to apply anything is going to be to check the body position, and then start to tear, probably cut some part of the body off. So in the front, I think pretty much 2 mil can be removed from it all around. So it's going to be below the headlights in the front. So I'm going to use my little curvy guy to do the surgery. I want it to be as low as possible, and now I could run without the bumper and then I could keep the entire front of the body, but running with the hard walls on the track, those bodies tend to crack very, very quickly on full speed hit. So alright, so now I have a much better height, and so now I can peel off some of the sides as well. So that's going to be nice as well, because there was some spilling of red over here. So how's the look of everything? It's pretty messy, yeah? Alright, so let's go with the straight sizers and cut those sides over there. Now on the other side I'm going to show you what I have cooking on my other screen. Let me switch screen for you so I'll show you. I'm going to talk a little bit about that later if you would like to switch for me, my friend. How's that working? Oh, okay, it's working. Sorry about that. So this is same chassis as the PC chassis, and this is a work not really in progress because I'm kind of finished with it, but this is going to be the next evolution of the PC. And so as you can see, there is a little bit of a difference between this and the actual PC. The actual PC00 has a pretty large upper deck over there, which is great for fitting a lot of electronics underneath, and for any of the touring buddies, the LMP buddies and so on. Even my first F1 buddy is really good, but because it's wide, it reduces the amount of buddies I can do on it. So the upper deck I've redesigned one for the 7 version, and now I've redesigned a new one that you can see over here for the new F1 version. So this way I can do a much narrower body that I could otherwise. So this is going to be something that I'm probably going to start doing more on this platform and see how it goes. So in the meantime, back to my TPO 33. Alright, so now I am really, this is really nice and low. I really like it like that. The front I could cut a little bit more. It seems like it's a little bit turned to the side. I think this is not very straight, but I will increase probably the size here. What I need to do is to figure out a way, because the body posts in the front are all the way to the front of the body, so I can't use body posts in the front. I'm going to need to use probably a screw with an O-ring or something in order to lock the body in the front so it doesn't move. Anyhow, alright, let's cheers first of all. Let's work on positioning all the scale elements. So there is the hard wing that is going to go at the back over there. Normally it has the yellow all the way underneath, but I'm going to put the yellow in between the green and the red. So it's just going to be 2 lines on the side, and then there's going to be another yellow line in the front here. And the alpha signs on the side, I might only keep the middle parts, the white and red, and might get rid of the red parts altogether over there. I will see how it goes. Alright, how we are doing on time. Just 8 minutes. Alright, let's start to punch some holes. Alright, so it is using all the M2 hardware to mount all of the elements, the helmet. So the helmet is very tiny piece of resin. Those are all SLA prints that I use. So it's really good for the level of detail that it provides. It's a little bit lacking on flexibility, so it's not really something you want to put where parts are going to be stressed, because it tends to crack quite easily. So there is quite a bit of resin parts on the chassis. This is a naked PC00 chassis with F1. It's an F1 version, so SLA parts, you have the rear pods, the wing or the diffuser, and then in the front, the servo mounts and the uprights over there are SLA. So there is really nothing that is being stressed out so much outside of the uprights that goes along the axle. Where are you, my friend? Here. This that turns and up, and so that gets some a little bit of pressure from the movement of the front end of the car. And for those of you who don't know about the PCOO, it is a 128 pan car chassis that I have designed that is extremely different from the other chassis on the market. Well, not so much anymore, because Serpent came out with a very similar system now for the flex plates. And so it is a single piece chassis with no T-plate. The rear pod is mounted on what I call flex cuts that allows for basically travel laterally and vertically, and the front end is mounted on 2 pivot points, so the entire front end can sway like that. And I have recently added springs as well that I have specially made for this, which is a very small travel. It's about 2.4 mil travel. And then I have my quick release axles, so you can just remove the pin and remove the axle, so it's very quick to do changes to the front setup. And then I have the upper deck on which you can mount dampers that goes between the back of the pod here and any of these mounting points. I'm not using them anymore at the moment, but I will be using them again when I work on the Twingo Cup. And so basically the idea is that the entire centerpiece of the car can flex around a very, very small amount of points that are all in line, and everything else is flexible on the car. And all your electronics are mounted to the upper deck over here, and so they are all floating. They are very, very low, because once you mount the battery, it's actually almost in contact with the lower deck, but it's mounted to the top, so it allows everything to move really independently from each other and to be very, very soft and flexible. And you can basically run it with the smallest amounts of settings as can be, because the toe is fixed with the steering rack, the suspension is what it is, the ride height is what it is, but at the main time you can really go into detail in how much you can tune up the car with ride height, with suspension setup in the front, because you can run it rigid, you can run it with springs, you can change the height between the front and the rear pivot. So there is really a lot that you can go into with this platform, as well as being a super simple racing platform. So on that note, this is the RR version. So this is one of the chassis that I'm running. I'm running one MR, which is mid-rear, the motor is before the axle, and another one which is RR when the motor is behind the axle. And so on. In this configuration, I'm running the electronic on the back as well. This is the old pod. I have a new one that has a newly designed diffuser. I'm going to do a video on building the PC as well, so you're going to be able to see how simple this platform is. So this is my RR. I'm running it with no offsets on the wheels, front and back. I don't think I switched to the, no, this is the plastic gear servo, so that's really the basic setup for the car. So this is the one that I'm using to put my proto body on. So let's start to go on the sticker sheets a little bit. So I'm going to be using some of the sheets and some that I'm going to leave as let me see what I want to use there. I think, well, I'm gonna go all the way, use a big piece of the yellow, and I will cut the sides the way they fit on the body, because I'm not fitting it the way it is supposed to fit originally. So I'm gonna go and cut it in half, and then I will readjust once I'm on the body. So I'm gonna have one over here and one on the other side, and then once it's on, I will cut the side. Now there's a little bit of white paper left on here. I'm going to get rid of that. And go. Alright, so let's start from the back here and then fold it to the front. Okay, and this way I get pretty good Alright, that's pretty good. This way my bad painting disappears. I'm out of proper masking tape, so I've been using the big white masking tape for home painting, which is not great. It tends to, you see, to spill. The paint still goes in between. So in order to remedy that problem, I am hiding it with the stickers. You could almost say that this was the plan all along. Alright, and I have the other side over here. We are going to cut around as well, and now we're going to be able to place the wing, and at the back here we will have the nice exhaust and chassis parts. So let's increase the holes a little bit. And see, this is really a bit too much of modeling for my big hands, but it's enjoyable to do. Here you go. You are the long one, aren't you? Yes. Okay, so this is gonna go all the way through, and now that we're on the other side, we almost have a Jamaican flag now. We're gonna go fine. Yes, we did fine the holes in the spoiler, and so it should marry very well. Alright, screwing through SLA, you don't want to screw too much, because if you do it, then you tend to peel, to just cut too much in the material, and then you'll turn in forever and you will never properly screw. So mind that when you work on top of the SLA resin. It's a very durable material if you just take care of it. Alright, I'm gonna cut another strip of yellow from the sticker sheet. Let me see if I might want to go cutter on this. There's a little bit of white. Okay, and this I'm going to do some detailing in the front of the body, similarly to the back. I need to try to hide my painting problems, so this is a good excuse to use this part of the sticker sheet. They are meant to be there anyway, but now they have a bigger purpose. Alright, so I'm going to keep the strip full size. I'm going to see if I can actually turn it around the body. Oh, that's going to be alright, I think. Okay, let's see how it goes. Yep, that's going to be fine. It's not going to be perfect. I'm not the best when it comes to making bodies, so I just want it to look fair enough when it's on the track. just going to fold that behind. So now I have my cover line in the front and in the back, and I can start to apply my other stickers. Maybe as long as I have this, I might do another strip of yellow, maybe. No, let's just keep that on this side. I'll figure out later what I want to do. So let's put the helmet on. So I'm getting my M2 screw over there. I'm thinking about giving it a bit of a neck, because this is quite flat on the body. I'm going to keep it stuck for the moment. We'll see later if it requires a neck or not. So helmet is on the side of the body. Now at the back of that is the roll cage that mounts with two M2 screws, and so once that is on, all the scale accessories will be on the body, and that will kind of be it for the body, except for a few stickers that I'm gonna have to fit. So let's go mount the roll cage. Once again, this is really fiddly because the amount of screw you can put through is really small. So I'm using the smallest screws that are, I think, M2x4s. We're gonna have focus? No, we're not. So we'll never see what it looks like. But it's an M2x4. I think it could work with even smaller ones, because M2x4 is on the pretty much on the big side for that. So this is in. Roll cage is in at the back. Pretty cool, isn't it? And so now I'm just going to work on cutting the rest of the stickers from the sheets, and then we'll figure out a way to mount the front of the body. Alright, let's go sizers, because that's pretty straightforward. We'll use the curve sizers to cut the number for the sides, and I'm just gonna keep the straight line from the sticker sheet, and I'm removing the angled part, so I'm just have the branding and the stripes. That's gonna be it. And I'm going to probably hide as well the little, you see a little bit of overspray over here, so I'm going to put this over there. So going from, I think the back, I'm going to cut the wheel well a little bit larger, so I'm going to move that to the front a little, and I'm going to make it straight, which is not so much how it is supposed to be on the body. It's supposed to follow this the angle of the body line, but you know, you should do what you feel like doing when it comes to your RC cars. Alright, next one is the other side, so same story. Cutting it in the stripe instead of the original design. And I'm going to mount it a little bit more to the front as well over here, so I can increase the size of my wheel wells at the back. You're not straight, you should be straight, my friend. Alright, and here we increase the wheel wells a little bit as well, so alright, so that's pretty good. Alright, now for the green typo 33 bend. So previously there was a problem with one of the typo that was falling down on the line, so this has been corrected. Hey, what are you gonna do? All right, so we need it to be on this line, but because I've changed the height here, yes, I'm gonna have to recut. Okay, so that was well played by me. Now I can cut around. I should cut around this body line and leave the hood, the scoop, completely red. Alright, that's good. Alright, same thing on the other side, and then we'll cut the number and we'll figure out the body post situation. So right, so same on this side, just making sure. Oh, that's gonna look cleaner than the body I had before. That's good. A little bit more back, a little bit more back, my friend. All right, that's fair enough. Okay, and same, just making sure that we leave the hood scoop. It's not really the hood scoop at all, it's the rear scoop fully open. So this is good, the green match. And now all I'm left with is with car number. So this is car number 3. I'm going to put, how many number 3 do I have? I should have 3 of them. I have 1 and 2. Oh, here is the third one. Okay, so I'm gonna have 1 in the front and then 1 on each side. So I'm gonna use the curved sizer for that one. Now there is a fairly large black stroke around the circle, so that allows me to approximately cut. And here you go. So front one, I'm going to put it a bit like that, with a bit of an attitude. And then on the sides, I think I'm going to have to put it in between the Alpha and the Tiger logo over there. Or later I'm gonna have to give it a try with a live streaming with my mobile phone from the rooftop on the track. It's a pretty sunny day. We'll see how the 5G works in my roof. Alright, this is good on the side like that. Do the same on the other side and we will be done with stickers, and we'll move on to body posts and front body mount. I'm really gonna have to figure out something. I don't want to 3D print a part just for it. I think just a screw, a small screw and a nut should be able to hold the front in place. I hope. That is my hope. Alright, so we have a body now. Going to tidy up a little bit and we'll move on to body mounting. Yeah, I'm happy I didn't put the yellow on top of the scoop over there. That would have been a bit much. Alright, so here we are. Body is complete. It's looking pretty sweet. We have the structure at the back with the dummy lights, the exhaust, the back of the transmission, the wing that's mounted, the hard wing. So this is a pretty aggressive but short wing at the back, and then the front that doesn't have the light, it just have the buckets but no lights in there. And I think it's gonna look really nice with those rims. I think this is a very good match with those rims. The rear is really close to the pods, but there still should be a good amount of movement. So I need to figure out what height do I want at the back and probably do a little bit more cutting. Let me put it on the side for you to see. Probably gonna have to do some cutting over there. So let me see. Some body posts, some body clicks. So how many we have? 3 spaces. So let's put it all the way up and see if this is enough or too much. So all the way to the top, one body hole remaining over there, and the rear, I think that's going to be the ticket. Oh yeah, that's good. This is good for the back. It's going to look good actually with the transmission sticking out on the side like that. I might actually lower it even more. Let's see, maybe I'm gonna have to go one down and then place some kind of o-ring. I have some really fancy colored o-ring that I've received recently. Yeah, lower is gonna be better. Okay, lowered with some o-ring, and then in the front here I'm going to have to place, I think I'm gonna use those two mounting holes over there. Place something in there. I'm not sure what yet. Let me see what I can figure out for the front. So I have some screws, but those are a bit short. All right, let me see what I have. I think we're gonna go with, those are a bit long. I need something in between. I need something in between those very long ones and those very short ones, but they are not in this bucket. Oh yes, there is some. Alright, I think this size should suffice. Should be about 6 mil and 2x6. I'm going to require as well some tiny washers, so I'm gonna go fishing for M2 washers. Here they are. And the O-rings, alright, this is, oh look at that beautiful collection of O-rings that I received. I think we should go, hey, let's go green. Let's go green. Now in the front I'm still gonna need some locking nuts, so alright, I'm gonna place my O-rings for the back here. So that's going to mount the body up just a few mil, and then in the front I said it would be over there. Okay, I'm gonna have on both sides, I'm gonna require a little locking nut, or maybe a single regular nuts. I'm not sure. I'm gonna play with it. Let's try. Let's see with the regular nuts or two how it goes, and if it's not enough then we'll go with something bigger. Maybe I'm gonna need to be taller in the front. I'm not sure yet. I don't even know if this is actually going to work. Let's see. Alright, so we'll place one on each side. Alright, this bumper I've seen a lot of action, but so far this car that has been, this is my test chassis, one of my 2 test chassis for the PCOO, and I have to say, between the track I'm running it on, which is crazy bumpy for the scale, and the amount of crash that those have, a reliability test has been done on this chassis. It is strong. Okay, so fitment, and in the front I don't know if it's going to work. Oh, let's see. Kind of. Okay, let me see. Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Alright, I'm gonna have to cut a little bit more, trim a little bit more at the bottom. So I don't know if this is sufficient. I think it's gonna move out. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to try. Alright, so let's body clip the rear over there. At least now there is a pretty good finished product. So yeah, this really needs to be trimmed down there. This is too low and this is too low. So I'm doing marker lines. And we'll give it a trim. I'm gonna need to go curved just because I don't want to remove it from the body. I want to keep it on. Oh, this is actually okay. Yeah, that's gonna look pretty neat, I think. All right. Yeah, that's the one thing I'm gonna have to see is how much suspension travel still works at the back, because this is really in contact, but I don't think this is going to be a problem at all. Okay, this is pretty good. You want to focus or you don't want to focus? What do you want to do here? All right, I think now the front is not going to work like that. I need to figure out a way to lock the front here, so I might have, ooh, actually maybe a third one would do the trick. Let's see. Do I have another screw here? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Okay, let me see, because I think if I actually squeeze the body between the one I had at the back and another one, now this is pushing it down in the middle. That's not good looking. So I'm gonna have to figure out, you know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm going to mount a piece of hard plastic underneath here, and I'm gonna velcro to the front over there, although it's not really moving at all. You know what, I think I'm going to leave it like that for the moment, and I will give it a good old try on the track upstairs, and we'll see. I'm going to cut that all the way as well. This is just unnecessary piece. Alright, so this is it for the 70s Proto Can-Am on the PC00 chassis. I'm going to go put a battery through and we'll see how it looks like on the rooftop track. Alright, I will be back in